Hello everybody, it's me, the Diamond King, and thankfully I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm still kinda coughing a bit, but it's not as bad, and I don't really have a sore throat anymore, so I am feeling much better. And for this video, I'm going to show you my entire Angry Birds toy collection, showing off all the different Angry Birds toys that I own, some that I use in my series, and some I don't. Some characters haven't been introduced, some I might turn into in originals, all that. So let us start with the birds, obviously. Starting with, of course, Red, the leader of the flock. This is the Connects Red, one that I use in my show. He's very cool. And I actually have a second Connects Red. Feathers on this one are actually a bit scuffed. If you can focus. There you go. I don't know if you can see it right there, but feathers are kind of scuffed. So that's my second Connects Red. Basically the same as the first. This is the Knock on Wood Red from the classic Matilda games. A lot of paint gone because this is very old. Probably one of the first Angry Birds toys that I've ever received when I was super young. And it's very nostalgic to me, even if I don't really use it. Next is the Red from the newer Angry Birds toys. And it's alright, I guess. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the new Angry Birds merch, because it just feels so cheaply made. But this doesn't look half bad. I mean, I don't really like that the eyebrows are super huge, but it's alright. Next I have a Movie Red figurine. Pretty cool. I also have another movie figurine Red. A smaller one that's more detailed, I guess. And I like it. Next up is Red as Luke Skywalker, or Red Skywalker from Angry Birds Star Wars, in his X-Wing outfit. It's very tiny, and he's awesome. And also from Angry Birds Star Wars is a Hoth Red Skywalker. Who's also pretty cool. Next up, we have this Red plush, which is pretty big. And I use this as Terrence in my series, even though Terrence so far has only appeared in one episode. This is very old. I've had this for many years. And it actually has a sound box in its head. But it doesn't work anymore because, like I said, this thing is super old. But still awesome. Now let's move on to a new bird. That's the Blues. Here's a Connects Blue. I don't know why, but this thing looks a lot less bright blue to me when it's off camera. It may look pretty brightly blue to you, but I think maybe it's the camera or the light. But for some reason off camera, this thing looks a lot less blue than it looks on camera. I don't know. What do you guys think? Next is one of the newer Blues, who I'm just now noticing looks like he has a bit of leftover plastic on next to his feathers. I want it to focus. Maybe if I zoom in. There you go. I don't know if you can see it, but that kind of looks like extra plastic next to his feathers. Yeah, this is what I meant when I said I don't really like the new Angry Birds toys all that much. And finishing off the main Blues, here's a Movie Blue figurine. And those are the three main Blues. Yes, I get that they're all different merchandise, but don't really mind it, because it kind of makes them stand out from each other, if you know what I mean. And if you don't like that, then I don't know what to tell you. And I'll also throw in a Blue as a Hoth Rebel from Angry Birds Star Wars in as well. Not much to say about this one. Next up is Chuck. This is the Connects Chuck, the one that I use. Here's a Knock on Wood Chuck from the classic Mattel games. And I've never really liked this one because he's super skinny because of how skinny he is. What do you guys think? To be honest, he kind of looks a lot like Bert from Sesame Street because of how skinny he looks. Next is one of the newer Chucks. The newer toys are actually very hollow. I forgot to mention that. Next is a Movie Chuck figurine. Barely turn it because it's wobbling around in my hand so much. And how many of you think that Movie Chuck just looks like a banana? Next is a smaller movie figurine Chuck. It's very light. So light that I dropped him. Sorry. And I don't know about you, but his eyes kind of look a bit misprinted. Looks a little cockeyed there. And that wasn't a bird pun. But that's the other movie figurine Chuck that I have. And you know what? Here's a bigger movie Chuck. With wheels. Now this one's actually a Burger King toy, surprisingly. I mean, you can probably tell because of the cheap plastic. Even though, you know, you can't really feel it because it's in a video. And here's Chuck Ham Solo from Angry Birds Star Wars. Or, you know, Chuck as Han Solo. Next is Bomb. This is the Knock on Wood Bomb. I do not have the Connects or any other figure alternative. And to be honest, it's not that bad. Next is the newer Bomb, whose eyes are super tiny for some reason. I mean, I don't know if Bomb's eyes have always been like this. Have they? Let me know in the comments because I'm unsure. And here's a movie Bomb figurine. This is actually the heaviest movie figurine that I own. Super heavy. Next is a big one. It's a bomb one, and it's basically covering up everything. Hang on a second. So this is a giant 8-inch bomb plush that I own, and unlike my red plush, he does not contain a sound box in his head. And as you can tell, he's super big. I mean, just look at how big he is compared to everything else so far. Now for a new bird, here's Matilda. It's the Matilda that I use. And I have no idea where this Matilda originates from. I mean, on the back, if you can read it, it says it's manufactured by CWT. I have never heard of this company before, so if anyone knows what that is, then let me know in the comments. Next is one of the newer Matildas, who I'm not really the biggest fan of. I mean, I get Matilda's white, so you don't have to give her a lot of details, but they could have at least painted her top feathers. I don't really like the new Angry Birds toys all that much. I also have a movie Matilda figurine. Definitely one of my favorite movie figurines because I really love all these cool feathers on her back. The cool combination of lavender, pink, and pink just makes a really cool color combination. And finally, here's Matilda driving the I think this was called the the Tub Copter, but correct me if I'm wrong. And this is the only Angry Birds Go toy that I have. It's got a metal ball on the bottom, and it's a telepod because of that QR code right there. Focus, whatever. And its back wheels can rotate. And that's Angry Birds Go Matilda. Now for two other birds that I only have one toy of. So starting off, we have Stella, one of the newer Stellas. And Stella is not in the series, but I am planning on introducing her in an episode soon. And trust me, this thing looks a lot more pink than it does on camera. I don't know why, but on camera she just looks so beige. And the final bird that I own is Terrence, if you even want to call him that. I mean, this thing is just so puny. I am never going to use this as Terrence in my series. The reason why is because Terrence is big, and this puny, pathetic piece of trash is small. It's just so dumb looking. Get out of here. Next, I'll show you guys some of the slingshots that I have. Starting off, we have one of the slingshots from one of the new Angry Birds toys. And this is the one that I use in my show. And I know I've constantly said that I don't like the new Angry Birds toys all that much, but this one is actually not bad. I mean, it's big, and fires decently well, and it can fit pretty much every bird except for Terrence. Next is a classic Mattel slingshot. Pretty cool looking, and very nostalgic as well. Next is a Kinect slingshot. Well, one of the Kinect slingshots, but this is the only Kinect slingshot that I own. And I actually have two Kinect slingshots. Not much to say because this one's basically the same as this one right here. And finally, here's my lightsaber launcher from Angry Birds Star Wars. Very cool looking. It's a slingshot that, you know, looks like a lightsaber. And those are all my birds, and also all the slingshots that I own. Now, of course, it can't be Angry Birds without their enemies, so here are all the pigs. Oink! So, starting off, we have King Pig. Right here. This is a King Pig plush, and he's pretty big. He's just as big as, you know, the old red plush that's over there. And this one also has a sound box in his head. That surprisingly still works all these years later. And that's King Pig. Next is Four-Man Pig. And this actually isn't too bad. I mean, yeah, the eyebrows are kind of look too big again for my tastes, but this ain't a bad Four-Man Pig toy. Next is Corporal Pig. This is the Kinect version, of course. And his helmet can, of course, come off if you want that. Next up, I have 3 Kinect's medium minion pigs. 2 of which actually used to be Corporal Pigs, but I took the helmets off. And now 2 of them are Ross and Jerry, and the third one is just some random background pig that I might make into an original character. I have 4 small minion pigs that are also from Kinects. And one of them is wearing sunglasses because it came from the Grill and Jillin set. Next are 3 more minion pigs from the new Angry Birds toys. And these pigs are basically nothing more than background characters. Next is a pretty big minion pig plush. This is 8 inches, much like the Bomber plush right there. And this thing is super big. Like, I mean, it does look kind of weird. I think the eyes, maybe. It's kind of weird that they have outlines when King Pig does not. I mean, King Pig is an older plush than this one. This one's a bit newer. And this thing is huge. Like, he's just towering over all the other pigs, and even King Pig. And that's my 8-inch minion pig plush. Next are my Matilda minion pigs. And I may turn into an original characters, although one of them I kind of already did. So starting off, we have the Matilda, the classic Matilda minion pig. And I think I'm going to turn this into an original character. And I think I'm going to name him Faceplant. And his whole gimmick is that, basically, he runs around and lands flat on his face. So here's soon-to-be Faceplant. Next is the classic Mattel 4-man pig. And I was actually originally going to use this as 4-man pig until I got that one in the back there, and kind of thought that one was a little better, so I used that instead of this. Although maybe I'd use this in the series. I don't know though. And finally, here's the Knock on Wood King Pig. Now yes, this is King Pig because there is some artwork out of King Pig looking quite angry. But since this pig isn't really big, didn't really mean for that to rhyme, and since he doesn't have a crown, I'm gonna be, well, actually I already kind of made this an original character, and this guy's name is Mike, and his whole personality is that he's pretty much a jerk to all the other pigs, even King Pig, even some of the higher ranked pigs like 4-man pig, King Pig, and Corporal Pig. Although his personality isn't really quite shown in the series yet, although I may put it in the next episode. Don't count on it though. And now I did used to have the Knock on Wood Corporal Pig, but I unfortunately lost that years ago. But thankfully I have the Connects Corporal Pig back there as a good substitute. But that's the Knock on Wood King Pig, or Mike, the jerk. Next up are the movie pigs. Starting with this movie pig figurine. For some reason he has a hole in his head. You can kind of see through to another hole that's in his foot. I believe if you look through, yep, you can see it. Don't know why, but I don't know, I guess you can place accessories on it and such. Next is a smaller movie pig figurine. It's very tiny and sometimes kind of difficult to stand because of these super tiny feet that he has. If it can focus. Next is the cowboy pig. I believe his name was Earl, but correct me if I'm wrong. And finally, here's Leonard. Well, this is not all my pigs, but this is the final movie pig that I have. Leonard Mudbeard himself. My final batch of pigs are all my Star Wars pigs, so let's dive in. Starting off, we have the Darth Vader pig, or Lard Vader. That's pretty cool. Next are 2 Stormtrooper pigs, or pig troopers, or swine troopers, or whatever you want to call them. Next are 2 snowtrooper pigs. An AT-AT driver pig. And my final Star Wars pig, and my final pig overall, an AT-AT Commander pig. And that's all my pigs. But wait, I'm not done quite yet, because we can't end off this video yet without adding the one thing that the birds are always trying to protect and the pigs are always trying to steal. And those, of course, being the eggs. They're rolling all over the place. These are both Connect's eggs. I only have 2. I know there's 3 or 5 or whatever, but I guess I'm on a budget here. And you know what? I guess I'll throw an Egg 2D2 from Angry Birds Star Wars as well. Because technically this is an egg, although I don't think I'm going to use this in the series because it would be kind of weird having an egg dressed up as R2-D2 next to 2 looking normal eggs, so I don't think I'm going to do that. But those are the eggs, and Egg 2D2. And that is my entire Angry Birds toy collection. I hope you all enjoyed. I definitely love all the different Angry Birds toys that I've collected over the years. And even though the new Angry Birds toys aren't really that good, they're somewhat passable, I think. So, going around another quick look, here are all the birds and all my slingshots. And here are all the pigs, including that giant 8-inch minion pig plush. And also the eggs, and Egg 2D2 as well. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Angriest Birds Ever, along with some other projects that I have in mind. This is Diamond King saying have a good rest of your day. Bye.